I do not know whether radio contact is still established here. I just saw the lagoon, Bikini lagoon, disappear into a mass of cloud and water. I can't see very much. Take it, Bill Downs, right away in your airplane. Stop, B-29. We saw that flash. There was a blinding glare of light that lasted only a few seconds. And then right above the target fleet, it looked like it was a good drop. Right above the target fleet, it looked maybe less than 1,000 feet, came this great ball of fire, swiftly and swirling, a ball of radioactive death. At first the colors were pinkish and purple, and then they looked alive and sparkling, and then they turned white. Right now, this great mushroom of cloud is standing, I would say, at about 50,000 feet. 50,000 feet in something like this first, 2 or 3 minutes. The winds are blowing up to the southwest, and there seems to be an awful lot of steam rising from the lagoon. However, there was no shock wave that we could see, and the predictions that were put on for several months that there would be a tidal wave are not evident from this airplane. The airplane did not receive a shock as we first expected. We had our glasses on and we sat here straight waiting for the plane to bust like black dust as we had been told it would be when it did not. The colors of the atomic cloud now are so white. Wait just a moment, I'll take a look through my glasses to see if I can see any of the damage. There's nothing to say. You cannot tell the damage right from this distance right now. It's perfectly possible to tell it until the radioactivity dissipates from the lagoon and the damage through all here. The poisonous particles of this atomic cloud, which has had everyone worried out here on Operation Frontier, will poison a river 16 miles across within the first 6 minutes as of right now. We are heading in towards the atomic cloud now, and we want to focus more than that now. Within the next 15 to 20 minutes, between 18 and 20 miles of radius will be poisoned to something like 65 miles. All of these planes, all of these ships have Tiger counters to measure the radioactivity. It breaks up the city of Nagasaki and the Japanese floor. The 10,000 people were killed for that concept. Like that last August the day that you can see why. We are approaching the lagoon now. The ground path seems to be a kind of camouflage floor. If you look back over the ground, and it is about 2,000 feet off of the water. I still cannot make out definitely what damage was done to the first fleet. You can see really the tremendous power of this bursting atom, the smallest unit in the universe. This one little thing putting it to shooting skyward we're born in a new age, and the first experiment, the more we can find out about this situation, the better off we're going to get. This bomb is capable of demolishing a city the size of Denver or Indianapolis or Rochester, New York, or Atlanta, Georgia, or Newark, New Jersey. It's no play. And they're not playing. They're not playing the game with for fun out here. They're playing for peace. Now, the bomb that went off with flags represented the hottest temperature that man has ever achieved on Earth. It's much hotter than the sun's rays have ever been concentrated on the Earth. The temperature at the center of the explosion reached about it's about 100 million degrees. Now, wait a minute, we are moving us closer to the lagoon, and we have another look at how many kilowatts. These are Japanese field glasses. They're not sure they're very good, but they're not good enough to probably not touch you as happened to that fleet. There's nothing, there seems to be no waves overlapping Bikini Island itself. The atoll seems to be completely intact, and I don't know whether the scientists will call this atomic bombing a success or not. We are very certain have to wait until we come in. The dawn now is still alive and it's red. As we approach it closer, it is red inside. I don't know what is happening. I mean, only the scientists can tell you that. But it's reaching upwards and upwards to 40,000, 50,000 feet. There's a beautiful majestic sight here, like a sunset explode. That's what I was talking about. You ran a barrel of flash and is impossible from this point to continue. Apparently, the shock of the bomb disturbed the transmitter on the airplane, and the signal is no longer good. In my television receiver, just before me on the table in the studio here on the Appalachian, I can see part of Bikini Atoll. I can also see some of the ships. I do not know how many were destroyed, but I definitely can see the palm trees which were reflected in the end of the electronic tube before the explosion are still there. While there was a tremendous burst of smoke and fire and flame on the face of the receiver, still in all, after it is settled, the palm trees are safe. The island is still afloat, if that's what islands are. Now to Don Bell for a picture from the McKinley. Very nice. From my point here, approximately 10 miles from that berth, I am still able to see the USS Nevada. The Nevada is still standing and she is still there. The Nevada appears to be on fire. At least from here, I think it's the Nevada. One other ship, possibly the Bikini, appears to be on fire as well. Now, I'm going to try to start from the beginning and tell you something about what this was. It's something that a man is never going to forget. It seemed like the brilliance of 1,000 suns, an orange-red circle of light, perhaps a quarter of a mile, perhaps a mile in diameter, because I couldn't see for a moment. I'd lost my landmark. Then there was a second explosion, 3 times as large. The ships themselves were hidden in a screen of bright flame then. As soon as I could think clearly, I jerked the goggles off, and a sort of haze covered everything. I couldn't be sure for a moment whether it was a real haze or simply that my eyes wouldn't focus properly because of the flash. Later, I realized what it probably was. I believe that there was an enormous fog bubble covering the entire island and the target just after the bomb went off. Then I saw that cloud forming, an enormous thing made up of shades of white and rose, a very light, a beautiful color as a matter of fact, but still an awful color. That cloud began rising up so rapidly that it must have reached thousands of feet in a matter of seconds. Then that mushroom stem began forming. Only this great, perhaps mile-wide column, it wasn't black, it was gray, a very light gray. Not like those that I'm told occurred at Alamogordo, Hiroshima, and Nagasaki. This was a gray white column, probably poison steam and gas created by the 20,000 degrees of heat suddenly let loose upon those warm waters of Bikini Lagoon. As I said before, the Nevada is still standing. Just a moment ago from this ship, a balloon was released. Obviously for radiological testing here to find out exactly what is going on in the immediate area. I should say it was about 30 seconds after the bomb actually burst when we got the shock here. It wasn't much of a shock. It was something like the concussion if you were standing alongside a 6-inch gun, shall we say, but there was very, very little noise here. We heard very little directly, that is, from our position 10 miles away. Roberts on the Panama. You're 5 miles farther away from the cloud than we are, and your perspective may be better now. Tell us how it appears to you, please.
This is Cleve Roberts on the USS Panama. As Don Bell pointed out to you, we're about 5 miles further away than the Mount McKinley. Our picture was a little bit different than Bell's. We saw the initial flash as one great red, low-lying flame. There seemed to be perpendicular streamers coming out that was white and red. Those were the 2 dominant colors that I saw through my high-density glasses. And then, immediately, that slow, rising crowd that all of us have come to know so well from the pictures that were taken so long ago at Nagasaki and Hiroshima and down in New Mexico. The cloud seemed to be rather slow in rising, suddenly gained some sort of speed, and I believe that when it passed through that layer of clouds, which I mentioned earlier on the broadcast, it was at approximately 10,000 feet. I've been sampling opinion among the scientists on board the Panama, and they are agreed that it hit 10,000 feet when it started through the layer of clouds. We waited some time for that white column of smoke to rear its head above the main cloud bank, and after some moments, I would say, 4 or 5 minutes at most, maybe a little more, we saw the first red blot of that cloud stick its head above the clouds that were already here. And It was easy to identify it because of the red flame, the sort of almost peach color that is coming out from the poles of white. At this moment, the cloud has assumed the same position, that mushroom shape that we knew so well. And by the way, now the airplanes that are coming in to do the various survey work, part of the instrumentation, are running along over the Bikini area. I see one of them, one of the F-6F radio-controlled planes has just gone past. I remember those planes from the Shangri-La when I saw them operating in practice back in San Diego. That's one of the aircraft that is supposed to fly through the cloud, and apparently it has just gone through the cloud. I may be mistaken. That might be one of the motherships looking for the drone that was sent through the cloud, but that will remain to be seen. The scientists are agreed this is a big success. It's about 240 miles from here to Bikini. From here down to Fraudulent, and it's, I guess, the top of the cloud now is about 45,000 feet. Dr. Greedy of Dow Chemical tells me so. I wonder if it's possible that people on Fraudulent can see the clouds. Come in, Bill Chaplin, and tell us.
This is W.W. Chaplin on Fraudulent. We are 210 miles from Bikini here, but we saw, I am positive that we saw the towering radioactive cloud after the atom bomb fell a few minutes ago. On the radio ship Spindle Eye, we listened to the burst of the bomb on a below-deck radio and then raced up to the main deck. Facing north, we saw a great white cloud rise from beyond the horizon, mushroom out, divide into two great white heads, and still climb the sky. There were many patches of white cloud already in the sky, but they were motionless. This one rose and grew and spread before our eyes. I feel confident it was the atom cloud. Though one slide rule scientist had assured me it would have to climb at least 60,000 feet into the air before it could clear the curve of the Earth's surface for us to see it at all. Sight of it, I am sure we did have. But, except for the radio, we got no sound. That apparently dissipated or was blown to bits en route by the constant trade winds of these seas, which would have tended to carry the sound west instead of south. Now, for a full description of what we saw at long range, we here on Fraudulent have only to await the return of the bomber crew. An hour or so from now, if they come straight back, as I suppose they will. There would seem to be little reason for loitering around Bikini now that the power and the peril of the bomb have been released there. And now, back to the control ship Appalachian.
Appalachian, go ahead. This is NCLG, go ahead. This is the Appalachian, go ahead. This is the Appalachian. The atomic bomb of millions of expenditures explode. Already the drone planes and drone boats are trampling the cloud and the water to test the radioactivity. All the complex meters and gauges and mechanisms and devices to read and record and compute and measure the effects of the bomb's explosion have swung into play. But it will be days, well, maybe weeks or years before mankind can correlate and interpret and fully understand what took place here at Bikini just a few minutes ago. But whatever the scientists learn, of one thing everyone living today may be sure. The world and the peoples in it have reached a crossroads. It is for the people of the world, through their spokesmen and governments, to decide what route to take and what direction they shall give to the use of atomic fission. This broadcast of the explosion of the Crossroads atomic bomb came to you through the facilities of Joint Army-Navy Task Force.